I grew up in Chicago, South Side, 26th Street. I spent most of my life incarcerated.
What's up, everybody? Big Hurt, fresh out. You tuned into another interview, and I have here JC from Wrong to Strong. You guys have been asking, so I made it happen, man, and we finally were able to connect. He came all the way down from AZ to come holler, and man, we about to get a raw-ass story. So make sure you guys subscribe and tune in to this. JC, man, a lot of our people want to know how it all began, man. How did you grow up, man, and tell the people where you're from?
Thank you for having me first. I grew up in Chicago, born and raised, 26th Street, 29th Christiana exactly. And it's a Latin King neighborhood.
Okay.
It's one of the oldest neighborhoods out there. And grew up, my dad hung around with the Latin Kings, my grandfather hung around with them, and it was normal. You know, it was a thing to do. It was the cool kid did.
Okay.
So, you know, started at a young age hanging out with them, and just, you know, that's what I wanted to be. That's what I wanted to actually grow up and be a gangster. You know, I didn't want to be a policeman or a firefighter. I wanted to be a gangster. So my wish came true.
So those were your role models at the time, was basically dudes in the streets.
Yes, sir.
What was your first interaction when you first got involved in crime, and what was the first thing that kind of led you down that path? Because I know I've seen dudes hustling, and then my first thing was stealing clothes. You know what I mean? You know, what led you down that path that just perpetuated you?
I wanted the Bo Jacksons. You remember when they came out?
Yeah, the Bo Jacksons, Nike. Those were the shit, man.
Yeah, and they were expensive. They were like $125.
That's a lot of money back then.
Yeah, and I didn't get shoes like that. I got Payless shoes.
Yeah.
So, you know, I used to have a lot of older friends that used to give me, you know, weed, little bags, and I didn't smoke at the time, so I would save it. And one day, I don't know, just something lit up, and I had like 3 or 4 bags put away in my drawer, and I was like, man, I'm gonna go get rid of this.
Yeah.
I could come close, you know, and I went and I got rid of it. It was $30. So then my mind started wandering. I was like, well, how can I make more? So that summer, I started cutting a couple of grasses because my grandfather used to give me $20 to cut the grass. And I was like, well, if the neighbor gives me another 20, then another 20. All I know is that I had to save up $90 to get me an ounce. So that's what I did that summer, and that's where it started, you know. I caught my first ounce, and I started flipping it, and it just started getting a little bit bigger and bigger, and I fell in love with making money.
And what was the first thing that led to you actually getting locked up?
My first time that I got locked up was a gun case, unlawful use of a weapon. I was in a shootout.
And how old were you?
17.
Okay. So were you tried as an adult or the juvenile?
Yeah, the law had just passed.
Oh, shit.
That year.
Okay.
And I got tried. I caught my first gun case. I got 2 years probation for it. So, you know, it was a slap in the wrist. So
you lucked up on that. So did that deter you in any way, or did it just perpetuate? They say like, hey man, I got away with it, so I'm the man. You know, I feel like I'm John Gotti or something.
I think it made it worse, man, because when I just got, I forgot what it's called, it's like a bond where the city just bonds you out.
Okay.
I-bond, I think it's called. I don't remember, but they just let me out. I went to court. They gave me 2 years of probation. I was like, damn, that's it? In my head, when I first got caught, I was like, oh, I'm going to get like 10 years because, you know, stuff that I seen on TV.
Yeah, you hear about
and I was a kid, you know, so I was like, man, I'm gone for life. But when they said 2 years probation, I was like, shit. So, I mean, a week later, I was already carrying again. So, you know, and I think what made it worse is that I always hung out with all the older OGs.
Okay.
You know, I was 16, and I was hanging around with guys that were in their 20s, you know, late 20s, 27, 26.
Okay.
So they were my role models. And I was always with the big dogs, the shot callers. So I felt important. So I always felt like I had to prove myself to them.
Because they accepted you, so you wanted to be a part of that.
Exactly.
So as time went on, man, I mean, you know, you were doing your thing out there. What was the incident that actually led you doing time the last time where you said, hey man, enough's enough, I'm gonna, you know, get out and, you know, change my life? I mean, what was that situation?
Well, I got out after catching my Fed case in 2013, and I had a plan to, you know, become a personal trainer, be one of the best in Phoenix, open up my own gym. And I got out, and yeah, I accomplished all that. I became one of the top trainers at LA Fitness. I opened up my own gym a year later off Omega Fitness, and it was a new concept. I brought strongman training with prison style, but my mentality was still criminal mentality because I was driving with no license. I was, you know, I was doing things that I shouldn't have been doing because they're still against the law, but since we're not trying to kill nobody or sell drugs or carry guns, we think it's nothing. Like driving without the license and drinking, like I shouldn't have been doing that. I can still get arrested. But in my head, it was okay because it wasn't something like big.
Yeah, something that was considered criminal acts.
Exactly. So I still had that mentality, and I was still playing cat and mouse games with my probation officer. You know, he went 2 years without drug testing me, and I went to a pool party in Scottsdale. You know, Scottsdale is infamous for the pool parties, all the nice girls and bikinis, and everybody's fit. And they were smoking weed, and they were like, hit it. And I was like, fuck it. I hit it. I don't know why or how it happened, man. The next day, my probation officer called me, said, hey, you need to come in and drop.
After 2 years?
After 2 years, man. I almost felt like, I just looked up and I was like, man, you got a sense of humor, man.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and he gave me a chance. He sent me to rehab, but in my head, I said, fuck it, I already fucked up, so might as well. So I didn't stop smoking, I kept on smoking. You know, finally he got tired of my shits and sent me back. And I was mad because he called me into the office. You know, I'm all dressed up. I'm gonna go have breakfast with my girl, and I hear the chains coming.
Oh,
I'm sitting in the office.
Oh, the rattle.
Yes. And I panicked, and I got up and I was like, "You set me up." And marshals came in. They're like, you know, turn around, hands on your back. And in my head, this is the funny part, is that in my head I felt betrayed. I felt like he had set me up, but in all reality, I did it to myself.
He gave you plenty of opportunities.
Plenty, man. He tried to help me a lot.
So how much time did you actually do in the feds?
I ended up doing 6.5.
And what was that actual charge that sent you in?
I got caught. I got conspiracy.
Okay.
With intent to distribute.
Now, for those who don't understand how conspiracy works, you know, because all these people on the internet be saying, oh man, blah, 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 they have no idea. Tell these people, man, how serious the conspiracy charge is and how they just blanket that shit.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of people in there doing time for what they call ghost bricks. They didn't even get caught with drugs.
Exactly.
There was a guy in there doing 30 years for just saying yes to 30 bricks, but there was never no bricks. So
never touched them, never
nothing. So, you know, I'm not gonna lie, the feds scare the shit out of me, man.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
They're on a whole different level.
Totally different from the state.
Yes, and you know, I always tell everybody, if you're on federal probation, do what you got to do to get off, man, because it's I think it's about 82% end up going back on violations.
Plus, the feds, when they bring a charge like that, best believe they got somebody that's been working. You know what I mean? You guys don't get the game, but I try and tell you, they got a CI, they got somebody in there, they got somebody that's working, and that's how everything sticks. So if you go to trial, somebody's gonna be sitting there on the stand.
Oh yeah, I mean, I got set up by my, it was my sister's boyfriend. And the funny part is that I had been out the game for a couple of years because I was already in the first steps of wanting to change my life. And I was working as a security guard at a strip club, and he approached me and I was like, hey, what are you doing here from? You know, he came all the way from Chicago. Came all the way from Chicago just to get me.
So they sent him, somebody that was close to you, to kind of loop you back in.
Yep. Honestly, when I got arrested and I got sent to Florence and everything, in my head, I still couldn't believe it. Like, I still couldn't believe that what had just happened. I thought it was like a bad dream.
So him basically trying to get himself out of some shit, turned around and said, I can go get you somebody.
Yep.
Wow.
I felt really, really betrayed, man, because I had been out the game for about a year now, and
you weren't even thinking about the game.
I wasn't even thinking about it. I had just had a baby, and I actually wanted to do things right. I was trying to change my life, and I had sobered up, and I was really, really trying to get my shit together. So it was a big kick in the mouth, but I look at everything now that's happened to me. I wouldn't change it, because it's made me the man that I am today. And even when I got violated, when I got out 2 years ago, I told my probation officer, thank you for actually sending me back, because when I got violated, I got sent to Victorville behind the wall.
Yeah. USP?
Yeah. And as soon as I got there, man, there was blood on the floor in the kitchen.
Oh, Victorville's rocking.
There was some dude got stabbed for a piece of chicken, and I just told myself, I was like, I ain't gonna make it out this time, man, because Victorville's known. Like,
oh yeah. I remember when they opened up Victorville, they sent a lot of people from Lompoc there, and it's like everybody that got decades, it's like they don't care.
When I got there, Tupac's dad was there.
The Black Panther, right? Yeah.
Yeah, he was there. They had a lot of like
high profile.
Yeah, dudes that are doing time, and I mean, just the energy alone, man. You walk down to that yard, it's dark, man.
You can feel it.
Whew. Like, I just got the chills just thinking about it, because it's like a graveyard, man.
Yeah.
There ain't no grass, there ain't nothing green.
It feels almost soulless.
Yep. And I'll never forget, man, because I had already covered up my gang tattoo, so I'm considered a dropout. I mean, I'm just gonna keep it real. It is what it is. You really don't make it out when you're a dropout.
Well, no, because cats that see you, they get the 411 and like, hey man, you know who's here? Blah 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 blah.
Exactly.
What you want us to do?
And so I didn't think I was gonna make it home, man. And all I did was pray. And I remember I was walking to my cell after we went to chow, and there was this big black dude. You could tell he worked out, and he see my tattoo on my cab, and he's like, "You a 5%er?" And I was like, "Yeah, I used to be sponsored by Rich Piana and 5%ers. I used to have all his stuff at my gym and everything." He's like, "Whatever, dude. What are you doing here?" And I was like, "I'm on a violation, man." So he locked me up in my cell. 2 hours later, he brings me an extra tray of food. And he's like, "Hey, dude, I seen your shit on Google. Like, you're the real deal, man." And I was like, "Yeah, I told you."
So exactly, because some positive energy came from you.
Yeah, some positive energy. He's like, "Oh man, I've been trying to work out." So he started talking to me about that powerlifting thing, and because I had a couple of videos of me doing like a 500-pound tire.
Okay.
Stuff like that, and it turned into a real positive, conversation. And he's like, "What the fuck are you doing here with 6 months on a violation?"
That's crazy.
He's like,
USP.
They sent you to a fucking like a landmine.
Yeah.
And I was like, "I don't know, dude. Like, I'm tripping out, man, because I don't even know who I'm gonna sit with or what's gonna happen."
Yeah.
And he's like, "I'm gonna holler at the counselor tomorrow, man." And he hollered at the counselor. 2 weeks later, I was out of there. I was in Lompoc, man.
Damn.
Low.
See how they sent you on a cold mix because your points wasn't high.
No, bro. And they had even went down because I was in my 40s now.
Yeah.
So they went down even more, and they went down even more because I did the drug program.
Yeah.
That knocks your points down
when
too.
Previously you had it already on your record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, he was tripping because he looked at my file. And
so dude was like a blessing in disguise, man.
No, I call him my angel, man.
Yeah.
My angel, because if it wouldn't have been for him, I probably would have never made it out. I'm just gonna be honest.
Yeah.
I would have been open game for anybody.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget when I got to Lompoc, because this is the first time I ever hit a low. Never been to a low.
Yeah.
And when I got off, the first thing I seen was a tennis court. And I was like,
what the hell?
I seen a bunch of white dudes playing tennis. I said, where the fuck did they send me to?
Yeah.
And, I walked in and I was so excited because I seen their weight pile. They had one of the
still
biggest
had weights
weight.
there?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Leg press. They had
They had
everything.
none of that, none of the big joints.
Everything. They had so many. They had dumbbells that went up to hundreds.
Oh, shit.
Like, they had everything. So I seen the weight pile. I was so excited. I just went and dropped off my stuff on my bunk, came back out to the yard, and I started working out. And everybody's like, hey, you need to go holler at your people. Who you going to sit down with or what? And I was like, I'll do that later, man. I'm trying to get some money right now. And, it ended up being a really sweet joint. I mean, shit still kicks off.
Yeah.
But it was sweet. Since there were no Latin Kings there, I really didn't have shit to worry about. Mm-hmm. I sat down with the paisas. The Sureños, they asked me, they told me I could sit with them if I wanted to. At the end of the day, man, I get along with everybody. Everybody fucked with me, the Hawaiians, the blacks. I call it a gift. People take a liking to me. I carry myself well.
And kind of explain, man, to the viewers out there how serious it is once you join one of these, gangs or cliques, because a lot of people think, oh man, you think you're banging on the street, and then when you get inside, you might want to not be a participant, or you're not going to do something. Tell them it ain't like that, man. It's serious.
Oh, the thing is that if you're clicked up and shit goes down and you don't take care of business, your own people are going to take care of you.
That's right.
And it happened as soon as I sat down with the paisas. The paisas, they're deep. They have a lot of people, but at the end of the day, a lot of them are just workers. They're not really gangsters. They're not really. Yeah, you got a couple of them that are straight from the streets and stuff like that, but most of them are just farmers, workers.
Yeah.
People that come over here to work. They just got caught.
Illegal entry.
Yeah, legal entry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I got there and they looked at me as a soldier right away. So I was on the yard one day and they came up to me and they're like, hey, there's a child molester sitting on our TV and he hasn't wanted to move. Handle that. And I was like, fuck, man. Well, there goes my low. I was like, they're going to send me across the street to the medium. So I tied up my boots, and I was like, it's part of the game, man. You have to, there is no, I can't, I'm busy.
No, it's you handle business.
It ain't none of that shit. Like, there's no excuse. You do it or you don't. And I put on my boots, I went over there, and I came up to him and I told him, you're gonna have to get up. If I come back in 1 minute, you're still here, you already know what's gonna happen. Luckily for me, I intimidated him enough like that he packed his stuff and rolled up and didn't say nothing. So it was a blessing. Yeah. Because I had already packed all my stuff up.
Knowing that they're gonna go straight to the shoot.
Yeah, that they're gonna take me to the shoot because he's gonna say something, So I packed up my stuff and I said, fuck it, they're gonna send me across the street to the medium. Oh well, but no, he didn't say nothing. And after that, they kind of left me alone because they seen, okay, JC's about that business. If it needs to be done, he'll do it. So, they left me alone. I did my little time. I stayed in the kitchen working, studied my ass off. It's when I really got down and started writing my book, learned about LLCs. I had never seen so many white people in prison in my life for white collar crimes.
That's the law, yeah.
Yeah.
They all go to the low. They don't go to the high.
No.
You
You could tell the difference between a medium to high white guy and a low security white guy.
What he looks like as far as
just how he has his hair combed.
Exactly.
So, I was out there like a sponge, man. They would actually run for me because I would be like, just hungry. I wanted to learn.
Trying to get the game.
Yeah, and they
do that purposely because they don't want the dudes on the higher side to be getting the game from these dudes, so they send them all together.
Yep. So I would chase this one banker out there a lot. He's the one that taught me about my LLC. He taught me how to brand my logo, and I was just writing notes all the time. And Never did I sit down and watch TV. I didn't have time. I had 6 months left. And, you know, I had promised myself this time around that I wasn't gonna come back no more. That I was gonna start my company, that I was gonna, you know, do what I was gonna do this time and actually do it right. So, you know, I got out and I started Wrong to Strong. I used to walk around the yard and just say it to myself and visualize it of what I was gonna do. And, you know, 2 years later, we just put in for a $1.5 million grant. You know, my nonprofits and the workings, my brand, it just everything is moving.
So in retrospect, man, looking back, if you were to talk to a younger JC, you know, being one of those OGs, and you had the opportunity to lace a younger version of you up, what would you have said that you think could have changed your path? You know, because some people always say, "Oh man, you could have told me nothing," but there were some dudes I know if they would have told me certain things because I looked up to them, I would have been like, you know what, I'm not gonna sell dope. I'm gonna go play basketball or focus on school. I would have done that because these guys are kind of like what I strive to be. So, you know, for you, what would you have told a younger version of you that would have had an impact?
I mean, honestly, as a kid, I played baseball. I went to boxing school. I went to Taekwondo. I was a very active kid, but I never had support. I never had like my family come and watch me play. I never had, you know.
So there was a level of self-confidence there.
Yeah. So you know, if I would have had what my gang gave me on the streets, I would have probably turned out to be a different man. You know what I mean? I don't want to say better, but different.
Yeah.
And you know, that's the problem, is that sometimes you don't know. It could be a random stranger on the street that might just need a hug that fucking day. And, you know, that's like one of the biggest things now that like I try to like just encourage people. I mean, I do it at work. I do it when I see people on the streets, you know. You never know, man, what that person is going through. So it's like, I wish I would have had somebody, you know, hey, let's go play some baseball. Let's go play some catch.
Yeah.
You know, because I was actually pretty good at sports.
Yeah.
You know, and when I was in the feds, they actually used to bet money on me to race against the black guys. Cause I'm always been stocky and a little heavy, but I got some speed on my legs. And they would bet soups. And whenever a new guy would come in that didn't know that I could run, we would all
be like, oh man, it's
and tall guys, you know what I mean?
Long legs.
And they would be like, they would make it a big thing. We would go out to the yard, and the guards would be laughing because they'd be like, oh, he's gonna go race. And they would go out there and they would bet, you know, and I would smoke them, and they would be like, man, how you run like that? And it's just, you know, I always played football. I always played sports.
You know, it's crazy that you said that too, because I always tell people, man, that your influences as a child, like between like 12, you know, to 13, 14, 15, like you said, having somebody to go shoot hoops or watch you play football and just give you the confidence, it makes the world a difference, man, because like I never really had nobody watching me either or telling me, hey man, you can be good at it. They just, you know, they wouldn't even comment, or they wouldn't go at all, or wouldn't influence you positively, so you kind of felt like it was a waste of time. I'm just gonna go hang out then if it ain't nobody care, you know. So that's very important what you said, and I think that a lot of kids need to hear more of that to make that change, man.
You know, and I think about it now that I'm older, you know, and it's not necessarily that it's bad parents. Some parents are just busy. They're working 2-3 jobs. They don't know, you know. They don't know better. They think that the kids, you know, he's cool, he's at home.
Exactly.
I think I forgot what they called the kids with the keys on their necks and the 90s.
Latchkey kids?
Something like that. Yeah. But, you know, all that shit does matter because you're not spending time. So what happens? You're bored and you go to the streets, and down the streets you find the love and the unity. You know, I think that humans by nature want to be part of something.
Yeah.
You know,
you want to fit in.
We've been part of a tribe since day one.
That's right.
Aztecs, you know, Viking. We've always been part of something. So I think it's like a gene that we have inside of us that if we don't have it at home, we're gonna find it somewhere else.
That's right. You're right. You made a good point, man. I mean, we're social creatures. You know, interaction is such a key, and that's the problem now with a lot of these kids. Where us growing up, we would go in to settle something and fight, then go play football later on and get ice cream. These kids now are so antisocial. When somebody says something to them, they want to go shoot up everything.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They don't have no skills where, you know what, let's go work it out and then be done with it. So it's a different mentality, man. Closing out, man, I mean, what would you like to leave the viewers with as far as, your vision, what you have going on, and how they could, find out more about what you're working on?
Well, here I'm on my Wrong to Strong website, www.wrongtostrong.com. I have a newsletter. If people sign up, they know what's going on. Right now, we're working on the nonprofit part, trying to get that grant. And if we get that grant, we're going to be going into the prison, teaching the inmates 6 weeks before they come home how to become personal trainers. Then after they get out, I'll have them for a year as a mentorship program. I believe that the first 6 months when they come home are the most important because they're just like kids getting out to the world. They want to chase women. They want to chase all these. Yeah, they want to chase all these things that it doesn't work like that. You gotta surround yourself with good people to begin with and have a safety net in order for them to be able to actually stay out. A lot of people ask me why don't I work with kids? I'm trying to keep the dads out so the kids don't go that route.
That's right.
I think when I work with kids, it's just putting a Band-Aid on a problem when I can fix the problem if I keep the dad out.
Because they still got to go home.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, so you need somebody there at the household.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I seen the big change in my daughter when I came home and I actually stayed out this time. And that's what I'm trying to do, man. I'm trying to help these guys stay out. It's been a lot of work. Sometimes, I want to throw in the towel. I'm not gonna lie. I get tired. I stay up a lot of nights trying to do one thing to another and then go to work. I still work a 9-to-5 job on top of everything else I do. So, sometimes it gets a little bit too much, but, it is what it is, man. And I'm gonna still keep on putting in the work, and that's what I'm gonna do.
Well, there you have it, everybody. JC, Wrong to Strong, Big Hurt. We're going to have all his information and the links in the description so you can click on there and find out more about what he has going on. This man has made dramatic changes in his life, and hopefully he can impact you in a positive way. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Also check out his YouTube, Instagram. And like I said, all the information will be in the links in the description. Hey, bro, thank you for coming out.
Thank you. Appreciate
Big Hurt,
it, man.
Fresh out. Holla. Lockdown's over. Get your yard time in. Exclusively at FreshOutSeries.com.